In this episode and the two that follow, we explore the beginnings of the Pathways to Stillness podcast series. This series is a follow-up to my book of the same title, Pathways to Stillness. This series explores similar issues and related issues that you are invited to explore in the book itself. These would include how to find your own pathway to stillness and meaning in your life. The book is available at Amazon, Friesen Press, and Indigo. As to the series, some time ago, my wife and Liz and I were having coffee at the Rogue, our favorite cafe in St. John, New Brunswick. Liz overheard the person next to us talking about the gray wave and the asset side of aging. She suggested that I should introduce myself to this person. As a gerontologist, this sounded very interesting to me. That is how we met Don Hemmings, now a friend and the host of this episode. It was a serendipitous meeting. We discovered that we had much in common. Our conversation led to an invitation from Don to record this first episode, which, perhaps like Star Wars, is being presented after other episodes have already been published. In these episodes, we hear about the beginnings of my book, Pathways to Stillness. We also hear how Liz found a new pathway to stillness by moving from a government career to operating Sea Haven Organic Bed and Breakfast in St. Andrews, New Brunswick. Importantly, this is also a story about older adults continuing to learn, grow, and age meaningfully. In this first episode, we will hear Liz speak about her journey, and then in the following two about Gary's story of his book, and then the story of how they support each other in their endeavors.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about your career and how you came to be where you are now in St. Andrews?
Well, I worked for federal government for many years, and for half of it, I wasn't happy there. But I was tied into the velvet coffin of the pension, and so I completed my term there, and then decided to start a bed and breakfast. So I would take summers off, leave without pay in the government, and go down to St. Andrews and run an organic bed and breakfast. And I got to be in my own home. I got to show people the secrets of St. Andrews, places to go where, they had never been before, and to cook for them. And so I've done paleo diets, and I've done gluten-free and vegan, and learning myself about these special dietary needs and restrictions. And just the excitement when people are on vacation, they're happy. And so that makes me happy. And in my government job, it was very seldom that somebody said, "Wow, Liz, you did a great job." But in my little organic bed and breakfast, people would say, "Oh, the room is so beautiful. It's so clean. You clean with organic essential oils, and the food is wonderful, and thank you so much." And so little did my guests realize that I get out of it more than them, I think, than they do. In retrospect, when I think about it now, I think, wow, money was nothing. My mind, body, spirit, a lot of times I'd have to give up. My health, my sanity, my joie pour vivre, because I was tied to this job. And now, when I do my bed and breakfast, when I'm working at that, I get up every morning, or I think at night, oh, what will I make tomorrow for people, or where will I tell them to go to climb this mountain, or have a picnic here, or take the bikes and go here. And so I get as excited and as enthused as those people.
Do you feel you've built a community of people that have come to the bed and breakfast and want to come back because of the things that you're doing?
Yes. In fact, I just had a call last night from a couple from Florida, and they want to come back and spend another week with me. And they just said they had such a wonderful time when they were there. And for me, too, to have that review on TripAdvisor, like I do, you realize how people have fun. I remember one time there was 4 people from New York, and it rained the whole 4 days they were there, and they brought their bicycles. And I thought, oh no, they're not going to have a great time. The weather isn't good, and you just pray that the weather will be wonderful. So I thought they might have not enjoyed themselves when they left. But they gave me the biggest hug and said, we had the best time, Liz. We just had a great time. And I really believe that, they did, because there were other things to do. And I told them about the secrets of St. Andrews, things you can do in the rain. And, So I get people that return, and they compliment not only myself, but my summertime helper, Gary, my husband, who is Manuel in the summer, and is the best cappuccino maker there is. So, it's a thing together where it's just quite satisfying. And I can remember from my own little story of becoming an artist as well. And I took this course. It was a week workshop on Grand Manan Island from a teacher from Toronto, and most of the people were from Toronto. And I thought, oh, I'm not an artist. I used to love to draw as a kid and paint, but I'm not an artist. And I went on that course with my new beach chair and my umbrella and my new sun hat and all the accoutrements that you need to paint. And there was such joy in the seagull overhead and the smell of the salt air and just me being there, that it was just the sweetest experience, the most stillful experience, that no matter what I produced on the paper, I found a stillness and joy in it. And so I've been painting now for about 12 years. I've sold all over the world. And that just happened because I loved to do something I was willing to learn, although I was afraid. I did it.
Yeah, the community or friends or someone who's encouraging is really important too. I know for me, sometimes I hesitate, and then somebody will suggest something or talk about their own story, and I'll say, yeah, what the heck, And I've learned that from Tai Chi too, though, slowly but surely, that in Tai Chi, at least the way I've learned it, there's no competition. You go there for yourself. And you work at something we call it serious play. So you work at something for a while, trying to learn a move. You might get it, and you might not. If you get it, there's still another level to learn later on. Right. But at some point you say, that's enough, time for coffee, and you just leave it go. But you don't feel that you have to really get somewhere or be perfect. You're just there for yourself, and then that takes some of the fear away. You say, well, right. why not? Let's just hang out here for a while.
Yeah. I'm intrigued with your interest in coffee and how important it is for you to know something about your guests. And you have a partner, a verbal partner with the coffee shop. They welcome them with their first name. And all those little things that add to that. You're asking to be part of their community by doing these little extra things.
That is so important about the B&B. In general, about why if I'm traveling and I feel lonely, I go into the cafe, and when they welcome you like that, they have to have good coffee too, of course, but they welcome you, they make you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really important. And you do that masterfully at the B&B.
Yeah, you read people too. You have to know when to help them and when they just want to be left alone. I remember a couple that came and stayed for 4 days, and they were fighting when they came. And I thought, oh my, they'll have a wonderful time. By the 3rd day, they were holding hands, walking down to the beach together. They just let go of all of their stuff and just were in the moment, appreciating, and nature does that to you too, but also having your home. My B&B is a haven, and it's called Sea Haven for that reason. It's a home, a haven for my guests. People walk in, and then they'll tell me just before they leave, the moment we walked in here, we felt such peace. It felt so great. And then, just that sincere connection, a really sincere connection with people, not to invade their privacy, But when people want to talk, you're there for them somewhat. And the sharing of stories. I mean, we've had, a man from Israel that got together. He was a mentor for Palestinians and Israelis, children, and would get them together for a summer camp every year in Israel, and he came and he shared that with us and with the other guests too. We've met some wonderful people that are doing good work all over the world, and that adds to our lives as well.